October 14th isn't just a date, it's your divine delivery day. But if you're still with the wrong people, you'll miss it. No, October 14th is a convergence, a divine hinge, a moment when heaven leans in so close, the veil trembles. And if you've been feeling it, that quiet pressure in your chest, that strange stillness in your bones, that sense that something is about to shift, then this message isn't random. It's for you. You, the one who's been walking in silence while the world celebrates noise. You, the one whose dreams feel too big for your current reality, yet too sacred to speak aloud. You, the one who keeps seeing 1111, 444, 777 numbers that appear like secret handshakes from the universe, as if to say, I see you. I haven't forgotten. And maybe you've started to doubt. Maybe you've whispered into the dark. Is this all there is? Maybe you've watched others rise while you've been asked to sit still again. Maybe you've wondered if your faith was misplaced, if your obedience was in vain, if your solitude was punishment, not preparation. But tonight, right now, I need you to hear this with your whole soul. You are not forgotten. You are being positioned. October 14th marks a celestial alignment, a moment when the spiritual atmosphere shifts like tectonic plates beneath the surface of your life. It's not about astrology as dogma. It's about cycles, seasons, the rhythm of divine timing. And right now, the season of hidden preparation is giving way to the season of unveiling. But here's the warning whispered through the stars. This blessing is seal protected. It's not for the crowd, not for the curious, not for those still clinging to old energies, old relationships, old versions of themselves that no longer serve the truth you're becoming. This breakthrough, this shift in finances, authority, purpose, peace is encoded, and it can only be received in alignment, which means, if you're surrounded by the wrong people right now, you will miss it. Not because God is cruel, but because some blessings require privacy. Not even your family can witness this one. Not because they don't love you, but because their frequency, their unresolved wounds, their unconscious contracts with lack and limitation, they create static. And in that static, the signal gets lost. So heaven has been pulling you into solitude, not to punish you, not to abandon you, but to protect the delivery. Think of it like this. Before a king crowns a new heir, he doesn't do it in the marketplace. He takes them into the throne room alone, behind closed doors, where no rival can interfere, where no false friend can whisper doubt, where the anointing can settle without contamination. That's where you are, in the throne room, alone, but not abandoned. And October 14th? That's the day the crown is placed, but only if you've stayed in the room. Let's talk about the silence, because I know it's been heavy. You've prayed, you've fasted, you've surrendered, you've released, you've shown up even when no one saw, especially when no one saw, and still nothing visible has changed. The job didn't come, the relationship didn't heal, the bank account didn't surge, the door didn't open, and in that silence, the enemy has whispered, you're not chosen. You're just ordinary. Maybe you misunderstood. Maybe it was never meant for you. But here's what you must understand. Silence is not absence. God has not left the room. He's just working in the unseen. Think of a seed. When it's planted, it disappears. For weeks, months, it seems dead. No movement. No proof. Just darkness and dirt. But beneath the surface, a miracle is unfolding. Roots are reaching. Cells are dividing. Life is organizing itself for emergence. Your season has been that seed time. And the signs? They've been there. You just weren't taught to recognize them as confirmation, not coincidence. That dream last Tuesday, the one so vivid you woke up gasping, with tears on your cheeks, and a phrase echoing in your mind? That wasn't random. That was a download, a preview, a rehearsal for what's coming. That song that came on the radio, the exact moment you were questioning your worth? Not chance. That was resonance. A sonic anchor from the divine, saying, this truth is yours. That sudden thought out of nowhere. It's going to work out. when everything around you screamed otherwise? That wasn't optimism. That was the Holy Spirit speaking through your intuition. And what about the ear ringing? That high-pitched tone in your left ear, soft, persistent, almost musical? That's not tinnitus. That's a divine moment, a frequency shift, a sign that a prayer has been heard, a decree has been sealed, a portal has opened. And the numbers, oh, the numbers. 111, 222, 333, 555, 777, 888. They're not just digits. They're signatures, celestial fingerprints, heaven's way of saying, I'm orchestrating this. Keep going. You've seen them on license plates, receipts, clocks, phone screens. You've dismissed them as weird. But they're winks from the universe, proof that you're on the right path even when the path feels invisible. And the peace, that inexplicable calm that washes over you in the middle of chaos, that's not denial. That's alignment. Your soul knows what your mind hasn't caught up to yet. So stop calling the season waiting. Call it refinement. Call it calibration. Call it the sacred compression before expansion. Because everything you've endured, the loneliness, the rejection, the closed doors, the nights you cried yourself to sleep wondering if you'd ever be seen, wasn't wasted. It was necessary. God wasn't just preparing the blessing. He was preparing you to carry it. Now, let's talk about what's happening right now. October 14th isn't just a date, it's a day of unmasking. On this day, heaven releases a wave of revelation. Fake support is exposed. Hidden contracts in the spirit are broken. People who've been draining you emotionally, energetically, financially will suddenly reveal their true colors. Not because they changed, but because your frequency has risen, and the mask can no longer hold. This is not betrayal. This is liberation. And here's the hard truth. If you reconnect with those people now, if you go back to the group chat, the toxic friendship, the family member who always undermines your dreams, you reset the process. Why? Because alignment is fragile in its final stages. Like a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis, if you touch it too soon, its wings won't dry. It won't fly. Your breakthrough is that butterfly, and solitude is the chrysalis. So don't mistake loneliness for abandonment. Don't confuse quiet for stagnation. Don't let FOMO, fear of missing out, pull you back into circles that no longer match your destiny. Because the final stretch before elevation always feels the loneliest. Why? Because the higher you go, the fewer people can breathe that air. But that's not a curse. It's a filter. God is separating the wheat from the chaff, not to hurt you, but to protect the harvest. And your harvest is coming. I'm talking about a sudden shift in your finances, unexpected income, a door opening in a field you didn't even apply to, a surge in your authority. You'll speak, and people will listen. Not because you're louder, but because your words carry weight. A deep, unshakable peace, no matter what's happening externally. Your inner world will be anchored. But again, this only lands if you're in alignment. So what does active patience look like right now? Not passive resignation. Not scrolling endlessly, waiting for a sign. Active patience is noticing your body. When you think of a certain person or situation, does your chest tighten? Your stomach drop? That's your spirit saying, this is not for you anymore. Honor that. Guarding your energy. Say no to gatherings that drain you. Mute notifications that trigger comparison. Protect your peace like it's gold, because it is. Speaking life over your future. Even when you don't see it. Especially when you don't see it. Your words shape your reality. Trusting the delay. The fact that it's taking time means it's important. God doesn't rush what He's perfecting. And one more thing. Do not share your vision with everyone. Some dreams are too sacred for public consumption. They need the darkness of the womb before they can handle the light of the world. So keep your mouth closed and your heart open. You are so close. I can feel it in my bones. And if you're hearing this, it's because your soul recognized the frequency. October 14th is your divine checkpoint. A moment when heaven says, are you ready? Not perfect. Not fixed. not having all the answers, just ready to receive. And the blessing, it's already sealed. It's already assigned. It's already yours. But it's waiting in a room only solitude can access. So if you've been tempted to reach out to that old friend, don't. If you've been scrolling through social media, comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel, stop. If you've been doubting because you haven't seen movement, breathe. The movement is happening within, and soon, very soon, it will manifest without. This is your invitation. Step fully into your alignment. Release what no longer resonates. Trust the silence. Honor the signs. And know this with absolute certainty. You were never forgotten. You were being hidden so you could be crowned. Now, I want you to do 3 things. 1. Notice your body right now. As you hear this, do you feel a warmth in your chest? A tingling in your hands? A deep exhale you didn't realize you were holding? That's confirmation. That's your soul saying yes. 2. Leave a comment below with your repeating number. If you keep seeing 777, type 777. If it's 888, type 888. If it's 1111, type that. This isn't just for you, it's a signal to others in the same season. You're not alone. 3. Share this with one person who needs to hear it. Not 10. Not your whole feed. Just one. The one who's been quiet lately. The one who's been waiting. The one who needs to know their time is now. Because October 14th isn't just a date. It's a doorway. And on the other side, your public victory. Your unshakable peace. Your divine assignment finally in your hands. You were chosen. You were prepared. You are ready. Now receive. You feel it, don't you? Not just in your spirit, but in your skin. The air is different now. Thicker. Charged. Like the moment before lightning strikes, when every hair on your arm stands up, and time seems to pause. That's not imagination. That's the veil thinning. October 14th isn't arbitrary. It's a celestial hinge-pointed day when the boundary between the seen and unseen grows porous. Heaven doesn't just lean, it pours through. And if you've been walking the path of the chosen, you're not just a witness to this shift. You're a conduit. But here's what no one tells you. The thinner the veil, the more your inner world shapes your outer reality. Your thoughts aren't just thoughts anymore. They're blueprints. Your emotions aren't just feelings, they're frequencies that attract or repel destiny. That's why solitude isn't optional right now. It's essential, because in the noise of others, you lose your signal. In the opinions of the crowd, you mute your inner voice. And if you can't hear your own soul, you can't receive what heaven is transmitting. I know it's hard. You miss laughter. You miss connection. You miss being seen. But what if I told you this loneliness is actually sacred space? Space for your intuition to sharpen. Space for your dreams to crystallize. Space for your identity to solidify, so when the breakthrough comes, you don't crumble under its weight. Remember, Moses met God in the wilderness, not the marketplace. Elijah heard the still, small voice in a cave, not a stadium. Jesus withdrew to pray before every major miracle. Solitude is an exile. It's initiation. And October 14th? It's your initiation day. So if you've been tempted to fill the silence with distraction, scrolling, dating, overworking, oversharing, pause. Breathe. Return to the quiet. Because the blessing isn't coming to you. It's rising from within you. And it needs stillness to emerge. Let's name what's really happening. There's a reason you felt more anxious this week. More nostalgic for the past. More tempted to text that old friend just to check in. It's not coincidence. It's interference. The enemy knows what's coming on October 14th. He knows your name is on a sealed decree. He knows your bank account, your purpose, your peace. They're all about to shift. And he's doing everything he can to pull you out of alignment at the last moment. His favorite tactic? Nostalgia dressed as love. He'll replay memories of good times with people who actually drained you. He'll make you miss the comfort of being underestimated because being seen feels terrifying. He'll whisper, maybe you were wrong to walk away. Maybe you're being too extreme. But here's the truth. Walking away from misalignment isn't extreme, it's obedience. And those good times, they were often seasons of compromise, of shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that weren't built for your light. You weren't happy then. You were numb. Now, you're awake. And awakening is messy. It's lonely. It's disorienting. But it's also holy. So when that urge hits to reconnect, to explain yourself, to seek validation from those who never truly saw you pause, place your hand on your heart. Ask, does this raise my frequency or lower it? If it lowers it even slightly, let it go. Because on October 14th, heaven isn't just releasing your blessing. It's releasing you from contracts you didn't even know you signed. Soul ties, energy leaks, generational patterns of lack. They're breaking, but only if you stay in your sacred space. Don't let a moment of weakness undo months of spiritual warfare. You fought too hard to lose now. Stand firm. Stay hidden. Your crown is almost on. You've been trained to look outside for signs, but your deepest confirmation has always been inside. Your body speaks. Your dreams speak. Your intuition speaks in a language older than words. Let me help you translate it. When you feel a sudden warmth in your chest while reading this, that's resonance. Your soul saying, this is truth. When you wake up at 3:33 a.m. with a phrase repeating in your mind, that's not insomnia. That's download time. When you hear a song and burst into tears for no logical reason, that's your spirit remembering a promise made before you were born. And when you feel a deep, quiet certainty even while your circumstances scream chaos, that's alignment. You don't need external validation to know you're on track. You already know. But the world has taught you to doubt that knowing, to wait for a sign out there before trusting the whisper in here. October 14th is your invitation to reverse that. Start treating your inner world as your primary reality. Your outer world is just a reflection. So today, right now, do this. Close your eyes. Place one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Breathe deeply 3 times. Now ask, what do I need to release to receive what's mine? Don't force an answer. Just listen. Maybe it's a resentment you've been nursing. Maybe it's a story you keep telling yourself. I'm always the one who waits. Maybe it's a relationship you've been tolerating for peace. Whatever it is, name it silently. Then whisper, I release you. My blessing is sealed. I choose alignment. This is how you prepare. Not with grand gestures, but with micro moments of surrender. Because the breakthrough isn't coming to you. It's rising through you. And it starts with this breath. You've waited long enough. Not because you were passive, but because you were faithful. You held the line when no one was watching. You chose integrity over ease. You honored your no, even when it cost you. And heaven has taken note. October 14th isn't just a date on the calendar. It's your divine appointment, the moment your private faith becomes public fruit. But remember, the blessing is seal protected. It won't come through old channels. It won't arrive with fanfare. It might look quiet at first, a call, an email, a sudden idea, a door that opens without you knocking. But don't underestimate the quiet. The greatest movements in history began in silence. So if nothing big happens on October 14th, don't panic. The shift is already in motion. The veil has thinned. The contracts are broken. The crown is being placed. Your job now. Stay aligned. Stay hidden. Stay expectant. And when the breakthrough comes, and you won't need to announce it. Your life will speak for itself. Now, I ask you one last time. Share this with one person who's been silent lately. Not because they need fixing, but because they need reminding. You're not forgotten. You're being positioned. There's a moment just before the miracle when you vanish. Not physically, but energetically. You stop posting. You stop explaining. You stop showing up where you used to perform your worth. And people notice. They ask, where have you been? They assume you're broken, lost, stuck. But you're not. You're descending. like a seed falling into the soil, like a diver plunging into deep water, like Christ in the tomb, silent, unseen, but working. This sacred disappearance isn't failure. It's strategy, because the enemy can't steal what he can't see, and the world can't corrupt what it can't access. October 14th marks the end of your disappearance, but only if you've honored the descent, if you've resisted the urge to prove you're okay, if you've refused to re-engage with energy vampires disguised as friends, if you've let your silence speak louder than your past performance, then your return won't be a comeback. It will be a revelation. People won't just see you differently. They'll feel the shift in your field. Your presence will carry weight. Your words will land like anchors. Your peace will unsettle those still chasing noise. But none of that happens if you break the seal early. So if you've been tempted to re-enter before you're fully recalibrated, pause. Stay hidden a little longer. Let heaven finish what it started in the dark. Your disappearance was never abandonment. It was incubation. And October 14th? That's your emergence day. Let's talk about what you're really trading in right now. It's not time. It's not effort. It's not even faith. It's alignment. And alignment has a currency. Your attention. Every time you scroll through a feed that triggers comparison, you spend alignment. Every time you entertain a conversation that drains your peace, you spend alignment. Every time you revisit a memory that makes you feel small, you spend alignment. But here's the miracle. Alignment also compounds. The more you protect it, the more it grows. The more you choose silence over noise, truth over comfort, solitude over distraction, the more your inner frequency rises. And when your frequency rises, reality bends. Doors open without knocking. Money flows from unexpected sources. Ideas arrive fully formed. People you've never met reach out with offers that feel ordained. This isn't magic. It's resonance. And October 14th is a cosmic reset button for your resonance field. But it only works if your account isn't overdrawn. So audit your attention today. Ask, where am I leaking alignment? Is it the group chat that leaves you anxious? The news cycle that fuels fear? The ex you still check on just in case? Cut the leak. Replenish your reserves. Because the blessing coming your way doesn't just require space, it requires purity of field. And you, chosen one, are being purified in the fire of solitude. Not to punish you, but to prepare you to hold a frequency most aren't ready for. You've been having those dreams again, haven't you? The ones so vivid, you wake up disoriented, not sure if you're still in the dream or back in your body. The ones with water, light, staircases, or unfamiliar rooms. The ones where you're flying, or falling, or finally speaking your truth. Don't dismiss them as just dreams. They're blueprints. While your conscious mind was busy surviving the day, your soul was attending strategy meetings in the unseen. Those dreams, they're rehearsals, previews, downloads from your future self. Pay attention to. Recurring symbols: a key, a bridge, a white bird. Emotions upon waking: peace, urgency, grief, joy. Phrases you hear: it's ready. Go now. You're safe. Write them down. Don't interpret, just witness. Because on October 14th, one of those dreams will begin to manifest in real time. Maybe it's the dream where you walked into a new office, and next week, an email arrives about a role you never applied for. Maybe it's the dream where you stood on a stage speaking to thousands, and suddenly, an invitation appears from a platform you've admired for years. Maybe it's the dream where you were finally free of debt, and a forgotten refund, inheritance, or client payment clears overnight. Your dreams aren't escape. They're assignment, and your soul has been preparing you for this moment long before your mind caught up. So tonight, before you sleep, whisper, "Show me what's coming. Prepare me in the unseen." Then trust what you receive. The veil is thin. Your dreams are directives. And October 14th is your activation date. I know it felt like it. In the 3 a.m. hours. In the empty room. In the silence after you said no, and no one understood. It felt like abandonment. like exile, like you were the only one walking this path. But you weren't. Heaven assigned angels to guard your solitude, ancestors who walked this road before you are cheering in the unseen. Soul family you haven't met, yet are already feeling your frequency and preparing to align with you. And God, He wasn't distant. He was closer than your breath. Every tear you cried was collected. Every prayer you whispered was logged. Every boundary you set was honored. You weren't forgotten. You were fiercely protected. And October 14th is the day that protection becomes visible. Not because you did everything perfectly, but because you stayed faithful in the unseen. So if you're hearing this, it's because your season of hiddenness is ending. The wilderness is behind you. The throne room is ahead. And your crown, it's not made of gold. It's made of every no you said to distraction, every yes you whispered to your soul, every moment you chose alignment over applause. Now rise, not with arrogance, but with quiet authority, because the world needs what only you can carry. And heaven has just unlocked the door. You were chosen. You were hidden. You are ready. Go receive what's yours.